In 2003, I wrote my book, How to Use What You've Got to Get What You Want. And why I wrote this is because over the years, people would ask me, where'd you go to school? What training do you have? And all this other stuff. Basically, what they're saying is, how can you, as a small immigrant woman of color, and at the time young too, achieve what you did? You don't have any connections. You just went to a state school. You know, you have a master's in economics, so big deal. So I wrote my book really to share with everybody else. You can use what you've got to get what you want. Once you identify your mission, once you move forward from there, you can really achieve your goals knowing who you are inside. So it's my way of giving back. In 2007, I achieved a Lifetime Achievement Award from eWomen Network, which kind of astonished me because I said, shouldn't I be older and retired by this time? And then what they said was, we're changing the paradigm of what it means to be successful. We're changing the paradigm of what leadership is. And I think we all have the opportunity to change that, to be there. We always say, oh, I wish I'm looking for that smooth part, smooth sailing. You say, you know, have smooth sailing. I want to tell you, ladies and the few gentlemen here, we are not in a sailboat. We are in a kayak and we're in white water. So if you realize that, you think differently. You're not going to wait for the smooth sailing. It's not going to come. But what you can do now is you can react. You know how to turn over and flip back up. If you do hit a rock, you can look for the rapids up front, and you can look for the eddies where you can take a breath. You can look around and enjoy the scenery as you go. It's a very different way of operating. Just understand what you're dealing with and celebrate it. Don't look for something that is impossible. Enjoy what is and go from there. I want to give a quote from a wise person. When you're inspired by some great purpose, you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. And this was said by the founder of yoga, somebody who understands power and flexibility, which is what we are so good at. Women in general are very good at understanding power and flexibility. Let's use that. I want to share with you the 4 principles that I developed over time that has made it so that we are able to have a common playing field and principles. This is what I call the rules of the game. We've already established the playing ground, right? We've already established your mission, that's your field of playing ground. And here's the rules of the game. 4 principles. I use it in my business, I use it in my personal life. And I deliberately made them kind of controversial in some ways so that you can remember them. It's also on my website in case you forget it. It's just howtousewhatyou'vegot.com. 1, tell the truth. This is one that is an old saw. Everybody says, oh, yeah, of course I tell the truth. But how many people really do? Haven't we been told, especially for women, be nice, don't hurt their feelings? Don't say that and make them upset. And how many times do we do that to keep peace or just because it was not convenient? But I just want to say in one word, negative consequence, Madoff. How many people does that hurt? But I don't want to focus on the negative. I want to talk about the positive, which is you can deal with issues as they come up, and you can be proactive and get them done. Because those skeletons in the closet have a chance of multiplying when they're in there for some reason. You think that they were really actually rabbits, but those skeletons actually do multiply in the closet, and it gets much harder. Another thing is the integrity and the reputation dependent, your integrity and reputation. As you know now with the web, there's nothing that ever gets lost. Whatever you do once is going to be there forever. So for positive and negative reasons, tell the truth. But the one I like most is what Mark Twain said. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. You want to use all your brain cells towards creating something positive. Use your brain cells to do something good. You don't want to try to remember what you told whom and how you have to tell another lie to cover the first lie and so on and so forth. So, okay, tell the truth. Second one, make partners. This is one that women generally do well. We're relational. But at the same time, on the flip side of that, women also say something else. I can do it better myself. Nobody else can do it as well as I can. because by the time you teach them, I would have done it already twice before. Some of these resonate with you, huh? Because I can... But if you have a large mission, and you all have a large mission, you're going to need support. You can't do it yourself. You got to have help. And to get help, you can learn from others. You don't know everything. It's shocking. You don't know everything. But get mentors, learn from others, teach others. And that's why you learn a lot more. Find common ground, engage, collaborate. Why did I say that? If you're asking for help, they're not going to help you just because you asked them to. You have to find a good reason for them to help you. And that's when you find common ground. That's going to elevate your mission to something that's meaningful and significant to other people too. Not only that does rise up your own esteem and what you're doing to a better level, but also it helps you understand how to navigate and get input from a bigger audience. Let's talk about something that's particular to us, glass ceilings and glass walls. We've heard a lot about glass ceilings. We all say, we can't get across, there's this thing blocking us from going. But I'd like to talk more about glass walls. Glass walls is what a lot of women have issues with. And this is what I call siloing, narrow focus, stereotyping, lack of breadth of experience, interest, skills, and side-weight mobility. Why is this important? A lot of women get slotted in a particular area, and they rise well in that area, but they never make CEO. They may never make the C-suites. Why? It's because they don't have a breadth of experience. They are usually in areas where there has less bottom-line responsibility, they have less diversity of experience, and they have less skills that are known to be supposedly more revenue-driving. So sometimes we don't get up over what the perceived glass ceiling is because we haven't gone past the glass walls. So let's look at them both and see how we can combine those two ideas and move forward so that we can really, truly be all that you can be.